Barcelona's window of decision is smaller than many realise. With Robert Lewandowski entering the final year of his contract and time inevitably working against any long-term plan, the club faces a bitterly familiar choice: spend now on proven experience or invest in a younger, cheaper forward with sky-high upside. Enter a 21-year-old Cameroonian who until very recently most casual fans had never heard of. He arrived in Spain last summer, cut his teeth with a B team where he produced eye-catching numbers and has already managed to force a first-team look. Those raw stats, a prolific B team campaign and early senior goals, don't tell the whole story. What scouts are buzzing about is a rare mix of predatory finishing, sudden bursts of pace in behind defences, and an intelligence in movement that makes him dangerous both inside and outside the box. For a club that historically worships technical ability and positional understanding, that blend is attractive and, crucially, cheap relative to the market. Reports place his market value around Euros 5 million, a figure that turns heads in a transfer market where even promising youngsters often now command 7 or 8 figures. That price tag matters because Barcelona must consider not only sporting impact but financial prudence. Buying a proven marquee striker now would solve the short-term problem. Lewandowski still scores and still leads, but do so at a significant cost and perhaps at the expense of long-term sustainability. Opting instead to nurture a young, affordable striker could align with a broader strategy, gradually phase in youthful dynamism, while Lewandowski provides immediate returns and mentorship. There are concrete signals that the Cameroonian is not simply a gamble. His 19 goals in 30 matches for the B side showed consistency across a season, and his early first-team contributions, including goals in the opening matches, hint that the jump-in level might be smoother than expected. Villarreal, understandably protective, view him as both a sporting resource and a lucrative asset. With 2 years left on his contract, the Yellow Submarine can demand a fair fee, but the current valuation still presents a relative bargain for elite clubs. But football decisions aren't made on paper alone. Barcelona must weigh tactical fit. Will he press and combine in the Barca mould? Can he adapt to systems where link-up play and movement between the lines matter as much as raw finishing? Will he cope with the expectations and the media glare that comes from playing at Camp Nou? Past examples show a young striker can explode onto the scene or fade under pressure. Adaptability and mental resilience are often the dividing lines. Moreover, competition is real. European heavyweights are monitoring the same profile of young forwards. Clubs with deeper pockets could begin a bidding war if his first-team momentum continues. That's why Barca's scouting directors are reportedly watching every performance, not just goals. How he presses, how he handles tight marking, how he finishes from different angles, how he links with wingers and attacking midfielders. There's also the matter of timing. If Barcelona move too late, they risk losing out as rival clubs pounce. If they move too early, they may pay for potential that hasn't fully materialized. The strategic sweet spot is a measured but decisive approach. Keep Lewandowski's firepower for the short term, while quietly securing the long-term successor before his value explodes. For fans, that plan is both comforting and provocative. Comforting because it promises continuity, provocative because it signals a willingness to bet on youth rather than immediate star power. The transfer would ripple beyond Barca alone. Landing a promising African striker at a modest fee and successfully integrating him into one of Europe's biggest squads would rewrite scouting narratives about value and risk. Finally, there are human elements that matter as much as the numbers. A young player seized by confidence and the right coaching can accelerate faster than anyone predicts. Conversely, a misstep in transition can stall a career. Barcelona's recruitment team must therefore balance data, video, and character reports. How does he train? How does he handle setbacks? Does he thrive under mentorship? If Barca can answer these questions positively and act with speed, they would not simply be buying a low-cost attacker. They would be buying an insurance policy and potentially the future face of their front line. In the weeks ahead, every goal, every assist, and every interview will be analysed. Every scouting visit will be passed. One transfer could solve an immediate problem or plant a seed that grows into something much bigger. For now, the world is watching a 21-year-old who was once under the radar, and Barca's decision will tell us whether they prefer the sure hand of experience or the gamble that could become genius.